calling from a 716 area code. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Hello, is this me?
Yes, it is you.
My name is Kerry, calling from Niagara Falls. First time caller, of course. I have a question about, you don't do copyright strikes or anything like that if someone reposts your content?
No.
Do you?
No. Never. Okay,
great. I recently started a blog focused on public health policy because the elections are coming up. And I'm pretty politically conservative, but I find myself watching your program more and more. And I don't know if it's fortunately or unfortunately, I find myself framing my content based on what I see on your YouTube channel.
Well, I think that's very fortunate for both of us.
Well, so yesterday I posted something from your YouTube channel, or actually it was your Facebook page, a video from your Facebook page. I sort of cut it up and posted it on my blog, and so I just want to make sure.
No, you're fine. Why don't you even say the name of the blog? We'll even give you a plug.
Public Health Policy Review Substack.
Public Health Policy Review Substack. Okay.
Reviews.
And what is now? Are you finding my takes on public health policy to be wrong or right?
Right, but I disagree with some of your takes on immigration. Even though I haven't covered immigration yet, I'm trying to figure out a way to tie everything into public health, which of course it is. I'm a former Trumper.
Why former?
Charlottesville in 2027 sort of started moving me away from it, and from Trump and MAGA, and then the attack on the Capitol cinched things, and I've been sort of looking around at programs for political re-education and education, and you are the best that I've seen so far.
Well, you clearly have great taste.
Yeah, great discernment.
But what is it when you identify as a conservative on these issues? What is it that makes you a conservative?
Well, I'll be brief. I grew up sort of in a radical Islamic household, and I escaped when I was a teenager, and my grandmother was a devout Christian, and so that had a profound influence on me. And then when I graduated high school, I went into the military, and so that really, made me really conservative.
They got you young.
Yeah.
So you went from a fundamentalist Muslim household to a fundamentalist Christian household. And my experience, just from an academic perspective, is that a fundamentalist from one religion is more than likely to really embrace the fundamentalism of another religion.
Ayaan Hirsi Ali, for instance.
Yeah, because you may not like the content, or you may have associations with the content of that religion, but the structures around there, you grow up with those things. That feels like home on some level. There's some level of security there. And then you go into the military, famously although it's run like a socialist country, essentially, except for, of course, the going and shooting at other people. But in terms of the way that it takes care of its people, it's all like socialism. I mean, full on. right? And so what do you, so that's how you became conservative, but what is it that, like, what makes sense to you about conservatism?
Family values. I don't practice a religion, but I see the value and benefits of being religious. I live in a sort of a Trump enclave in upstate New York right now, and the neighborhood is the safest neighborhood I've ever been in. It's the quietest. Police officers, firefighters, teachers, nurses surround me. I'm the odd duck because I'm African American, I'm single, I'm a writer, so I'm not gainfully employed, so to speak. Everybody else gets up and go to work, and I'm home all day. So I stick out like a sore thumb in the neighborhood that I'm in. Just to give you a sense, when Derek Chauvin was convicted a few years ago, there were people around here who were driving around flying Confederate flags and the blue line flag, and this is New York.
Yeah.
So it really shocked me.
No, I know. I mean, I understand that dynamic in New York, believe me. And okay, so it's, you feel safe there until moments when you may not necessarily, but, okay. I mean, but that's not, you must understand that there are also neighborhoods that vote for Biden that are also safe, right? I mean,
I haven't seen them.
All right. I can assure you that it is the case. I mean, certainly, look, we can also just look at statistics, right? I mean, relative to like states, for instance, even New York City, what was it relative to Missouri?
Oh, compared to Missouri, even if you exclude Kansas City and St. Louis, New York City is safer than rural Missouri.
I mean, it's maybe, when you have millions of people living that close to each other, it may appear, I think, more threatening if it's not something that you're used to on some level. All right, but aside from that, like, aside from the vibes that you get from having lived in a neighborhood with conservative people, like, is there a set of policy things that make more sense to you from a conservative perspective?
Well, that's slowly changing, but as I said, I'm a former Trumper. I was a good enough writer to work for a short time for Carl Palladino. And he was a big proponent of charter schools and school choice.
Yeah.
And so I helped him put together some policy proposals for that. But do you still subscribe to those notions of promoting charter schools? I'm not sure because, in my view, the public school, a lot of the public schools are a disaster. But I realize charter schools draw money away from the public schools now.
Yep.
So, but there are some charter schools that do good things.
Without a doubt. There's also some public schools that are great. I mean, I did an interview. Was the guy from the Manhattan Institute? He embedded. See if you can find that, Matt. He embedded himself with its success. And he was a conservative, a right winger, and very pro charter schools. and it really increasingly is being used just to draw money out of the public school system. The whole school choice movement is doing that. And he even conceded to me at the end of this interview that what was going on is a lot of these charter schools, and broadly speaking, charter schools, broadly speaking, do not outperform public schools. You know, if we look at it like across the country, there are certain instances, without a doubt, charter schools outperform some public schools. But a big part of that reason is because what the charter schools does is not necessarily cherry pick the students. From his research, even though he was a big charter school proponent, they cherry pick the parents. And they cherry pick the parents by saying, like, you know, you gotta attend this 9 a.m. meeting and on Tuesday morning. And if you can attend that meeting, that means that you come from either you have more flexibility in terms of work. It means that maybe you have more money, or maybe you have more flexibility, which means that you're more likely to be able to spend more time with the child, or that you have some type of support system around that can allow for that. In other words, you're just better situated to have better, you know, to create a better input into the system, which gets you better outputs in terms of education. But back in like I can't remember what it was, 2014, 2013, 2015, we did a lot of interviews with educators about this stuff at the height of like the so-called corporate or education reform movement, which was really a disaster. And even from the guys who were running it ultimately realized it was a disaster. You can read about the Gates Foundation's school experiment when the Rand Corporation did a report, I think it was in 2018, on the Gates. You can just Google that and find it. It's really interesting reading.
Okay.
But I appreciate the call. Keep using the stuff. You know, don't worry about it. We will never file a copyright violation.
No, we appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you. Can I give one more plug before I?
100%.
Public Health Policy Reviews Substack. So I only have a few. Just started, so I only have a few followers. So, and I guess I have to subscribe to the Majority Report now.
All right, that sounds good. Content. Well, we're going to either way. We're putting a link in our description today to your Substack.
Keep in touch.
Appreciate the call.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
People say I don't like conservatives. It's my favorite.
Build the bridges
right there. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.